Welcome into LFC Transfer Room. I'm Jack, and this is a transfer roundup of the January transfer window with a look into the summer window as well. It was a very eventful deadline day, it has to be said. Overwhelming news from every outlet across all of Europe as Liverpool were linked with a host of mainly center backs, but many transfer targets to try and help Jurgen Klopp keep his title push on charge. In the last match of January against West Ham, Joel Matip suffered ankle ligament injuries that have ended his season, which meant that Liverpool had to immediately address some center back fixes. So let's talk about some of the decisions that they made on deadline day. 3 confirmed moves, including another loan as well. Starting with Ozan Kabak, 20-year-old center back from Schalke. According to The Athletic, a loan fee of £1 million plus an additional $500k potential bonus, as well as an £18 million optional buyout in the summer that also may include add-ons as well. A nice one, a young center back that has a lot of potential, can help Liverpool immediately, as well as be under the wing of one of his idols, Virgil van Dijk, pictured with a signed jersey just a few months ago at this point. In addition, another center back signed, one that came out of nowhere. Ben Davies, 25-year-old center back from Preston North End, £1.6 million permanent transfer from Preston, and going the other way was Sepp van den Berg on loan. Young guy got to try and get some more experience at a championship club, which has been doing decently. But what we've seen from Ben Davies is a guy who was a leader, one of the best players in a decently performing championship side, making a huge leap to the Premier League champions. So it's going to be interesting in the coming weeks if he's going to be able to handle that transition. But at the very least, he's going to offer depth in the center back position. If you want to see more on Ben Davies, we had a video with Deepdale Digest, a Preston reporter, talking a bit more about Ben Davies in specific. So after you're done here, go learn a bit more about Liverpool's newest signing, Ben Davies. In addition, Takumi Minamino going out on loan to Southampton at the 11th hour is what it was essentially. Just about an hour left in the deadline day. They had a signing sheet done, so they were able to do it later in the night. But Minamino making a loan move to Southampton. Not a good performance for his new side in their very first match with him at the club. He wasn't involved in the 9-0 loss to Manchester United, but a £500,000 loan fee with no obligation to buy means that he has an option, the opportunity, should I say, to get a lot of Premier League experience this season, which is exciting for a lot of people. Now, I know we're just out of all the crazy news of the deadline day, so let's take a little bit of a look back at it, as well as a bit of a look forward at where Liverpool could go from here. There are a lot of question marks about the long-term future of Joel Matip, whether or not he's going to stick around for the long term due to his injury susceptibility, as well as potentially other options. So, where else did Liverpool look on deadline day? Well, Sven Botman was considered in a very complicated deal involving Divock Origi, as well as another Lille center back, Marcelo, according to David Maddock of the Mirror Football. Ultimately, the deal never came close to fully completing, but considering that Botman was linked in the very beginning of the January transfer window, he's definitely a guy that Liverpool have had their eye on for a very, very long time. So come the summer window, should they need another center back still, Botman's one of their guys to keep an eye on. Now, according to other reports, he wasn't the number one guy. That was an SC Braga center back, David Carmo. Liverpool had 2 bids for him turned down, according to Fabrizio Romano, and some in Portugal suggest that Carmo was Liverpool's first choice option, but they didn't have enough time to pull off the deal. Now, a 6'5", 21-year-old has made 17 appearances in all competitions for SC Braga this season, and it's definitely one to keep an eye on as well, alongside Botman, as a guy that maybe is looked at in the summer if more transfers are needed in the heart of the defense. Another one that was looked at on deadline day was Demiral of Juventus, but chief executive Fabio Paratici simply said no due to their views of him long term as one of the best guys to help them as they ease out the old era of Chiellini and Bonucci into Matthias de Ligt, as well as Demiral. Demiral is definitely a more household name than Carmo or Botman, and commanded a higher price, reportedly would have been in excess of 50 million euros. Not a cheap figure for a Liverpool side that are definitely worried a bit about their finances. Finally, a non-center back signing linked to Liverpool is one that's been linked for a long time, and in no small part due to his quite immense amount of talent. And that is Kylian Mbappe, one that requires a bit of optimism to really fully believe in. But some reports suggest, according to Late Football Club, that Mbappe is a transfer target that is heavily pursued by Jurgen Klopp, and he's using his relationship with Fabinho, current makeshift center back and defensive midfielder, to try and push hard to get the Frenchman. And in addition, according to Gregory Schneider, Zinedine Zidane is planning to leave Real Madrid at the end of this season and take an 18-month break before managing the French national team after the 2022 World Cup in Qatar. Now, Zidane is one of the many reasons that Mbappe was looking at Real Madrid as his preferred destination, and losing Zidane may lose a little leverage over Liverpool in the race for Kylian Mbappe. This may be a deal that requires quite a bit of optimism. You really may not believe it to be true until you see Mbappe holding the red Liverpool jersey, but it's one to keep an eye on nonetheless. This has been a roundup of the transfer confirmations, rumors that have been swirling around Liverpool Football Club in the last 48 hours. Deadline day was a crazy amount of time. We made a ton of videos at the beginning of our YouTube channel on February 1st talking about some of the new signings for Liverpool, some of the outgoing moves, some of the injuries, match previews. As it's getting into a very hectic time of the year for the Premier League calendar, we're going to be here to have all the news that you will need. And every week looking to have transfer recaps, transfer rumors, what you need to know in a very short dosage, what's happening at Liverpool Football Club. If you want to see more, make sure to hit that subscribe button. If you want to read more, LFCTransferroom.com and LFC Transfer Room on Twitter as well. I've been Jack, and this has been LFC Transfer Room. Take care.